What's going on, everyone? Michael Massey here with Luke and Glover for Frontstretch.com. We believe it or not, we are at a racetrack right now. There's lightning outside at Dominion Raceway, so we're in this bar lounge area that's really nice. Pretty nice amenity. But we were here for Minnie's Mission 125, and Minnie wasn't just the sponsor title of the name. It was the actual mini show out there tonight, Lucan.
Oh man, absolute domination from him for sure. I mean, wins the pole, leads almost every single lap, I believe, and then ends up getting win number 2 on the season. So yeah, really good year for him to this point, and especially to get win number 2. But what a night for him, supporting, of course, the Mini's mission. And as you said, it was his mission out there tonight to make sure he brought those home. Several fans for him here tonight. So big win for him. And how about that? We get Daniel Suarez winning at Mexico in front of his home fans. Then you get Mini winning here with all these special fans intents for the Mini's mission, the charity that he has for childhood cancer. So pretty good time to be Mini Tyrrell right now.
Yeah, just like with Suarez in Mexico, if any of these drivers had knocked Mini out of the way, they'd have had a whole lot of kids out here to deal with. So, but the guy that finished second tonight, Connor Hall, started 10th, works his way up there, has a big points night, gains a lot on Landon Lewis. What did you see from Connor's race?
Yeah, I mean, huge. You mentioned Landon Lewis, where he just really struggled, it seemed like, with his balance all night. Had some issues there at the end with some damage, ended up falling back. But for Connor, as you mentioned, starting 10th, getting all the way up to second, just really patient overall. We saw him get behind Laney Bice there. I think that was for the 4th position, and it was just lap after lap after lap where he just kind of sat behind her, finally makes his move, and from there, it's all it took. He was that close to perhaps – we could be talking about him in victory lane tonight, and he would not be a very popular guy, as you aforementioned. But yeah, I mean that's what championship medal is, and what it's made of. And to be able to come out here and execute, and to put yourself and dig yourself out of a hole in qualifying. He went out early, which historically hurts people, and to be able to turn that into a runner-up and I believe the points lead, a huge night for him overall.
Hey, he already gets booed at his home track at Langley. He could get booed here too. But rounding out the podium, you had Chad McCumbee. Laney Bice gets the top 5. Tristan McKee got 4th. He also, like Connor, came up from outside the top 10. But another guy that was running top 5 most of the night, second actually most of the night, that had caught Minnie at certain points and looked like he had something for him, could never really get around him. Connor Jones. He doesn't get the finish up there. What did you see that happened to him to get him spinning?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those bang-bang plays, as they say in baseball, but you look over, he's at the top of 3 wide, really side by side, and from my vantage point, it looked like Tristan McKee had thrown it in there, making aggressive move, and it was that point in the race where guys had to throw haymakers if they wanted to get up there and have a shot at Tyrrell, who just had his grapple hold on it today. But ultimately, McKee gets into Landon Lewis. Lewis gets into Connor Jones. I believe Jones is not too happy with Lewis at the time being. Hopefully he goes back at the replay to see what exactly happened there. Just one of those racing incidents that unfortunately ended his night as far as being able to go out and win the race, but just unfortunate deal circumstances there.
Yeah, he certainly, he was. He didn't say, more so in what he didn't say when I talked to him afterwards. You could just feel the anger like bellowing up inside of him. But he did say that, he was a little mad that the 29 car, Landon Lewis, sent him spinning, which I don't know if that's what actually happened or not, but that's who he's blaming for it. And he was mad that the series didn't send Lewis to the back of the field, which is a valid point because I feel like if you get caught up in an incident, you should be sent back there, whether you started it or not. Another storyline, another guy that worked his way to the top 5 you talked to after, Caden Honeycutt. He's full-time in trucks this year. We'll see him out here for a few cars tour starts. But, Lucan, what did he have to tell you afterwards?
Yeah, so, I mean, as you said, mentioned ran top 5 for most of the night. Didn't seem to quite have that extra edge that he needed to be able to compete with guys like Tyrrell and Hall. But his overall assessment of his night, there at the end of the race, we saw he and Landon Huffman get together. Huffman blew a tire, and he said, I just picked the wrong lane at that time. He had chosen the top for the restart, and ultimately Huffman ended up sliding up into pinning him against the wall, and that derailed his night. But unlike Jones, he didn't hold back some words. You could still sense them there. There's extra frustration that he wanted to vent, but in his words, the car store races might not come to much fruition the rest of the year as far as Caden Honeycutt appearances. He said he's getting tired of some of the over-aggressive driving out here and blocking on the straightaways. I believe he said he's going to return at Caraway Speedway, has 2 more races lined up. But, yeah, not too pleased to return back to the car store tonight. He's ready to move back on to Pocono to the trucks.
Well, and then thinking of Caden, I saw him after the race, he's sitting down. We were looking at him, he just looked beat. Tristan McKee sitting by the car as well for several minutes. I mean, this track looked like it took its toll on people today. And I know we experienced it firsthand. It was pretty hot here.
Oh, my goodness. That's what the drivers had said. I talked to a couple of them, and they said the physical demands that it took tonight, it doesn't match what you see. Plus, these car store machines, they don't have quite the cooling systems, or these drivers don't have the resources for the cooling that we see maybe in a NASCAR, in the Cup Series or Xfinity Series. So it was a muggy night. I'm sure they will be sleeping very well tonight, except for those guys who lost out there on the end.
Yeah, it's one of the few races I've covered where I wasn't secretly wishing I was in the car the whole time. But that'll do it for Lucan and I from Dominion. We'll have all kinds of coverage on the Frontstretch Grassroots page this weekend alone. And I know in 2 weeks we'll be covering South Boston's big 200 race. And just keep up with all the coverage for Lucan Glover. I'm Michael Massey. Have a good night.
Hey race fans, I'm Anthony Damcott with Frontstretch.com. If you enjoyed that Grassroots video, be sure to subscribe to Frontstretch Grassroots for more from ARCA, Cars Tour, and other homegrown racing series. And be sure to visit Frontstretch.com for all the latest great racing content.